Along the north side of the Duke of Gloucester Street near the Capitol, the sound of hammering could be heard. This would be the first time I officially ascended the western stairway that led to the entrance of silversmith and jeweler James Craig's workshop, also known as the Golden Ball. I knew little about the art of colonial silversmithing, but immediately the visuals and sounds that filled the room carried me back in time and kept me curious of my surroundings, revealing what daily life would have looked like for those working here way back then.
This red stuff is a pine tar mixed with brick dust, and this basically acts like a soft anvil.
A treasure trove of silver craftsmanship was kept inside glass cabinets and displays, and there were many tools, hammers, and anvils of all different shapes and sizes all around, each one holding a specific purpose, as the journeyman silversmith on site carefully demonstrated. Lying near the apprentice silversmith who was hard at work, I was fascinated to learn this large anvil kept inside the shop was an 18th century original. The plan for my visit would be to further explore James Craig's workshop here inside the western half of the building. Later, I would head outside to the Golden Ball's backyard area to have a look around, and finish up by going inside the eastern half of the building to view handcrafted pieces forged here and made available for purchase.
Copper, silver, and gold are hammered at room temperature. Iron and steel are hammered, but they're hammered hot. Pewter, brass, and bronze are poured into molds, and that's a foundry in this shop down the street.
We're silversmiths, you have coppersmiths. People work with iron or black metals or blacksmiths, right? And then there's certain metals that yield to be poured and hammered. It takes too long, they're brittle. So the word founder comes from an old Latin word that means to pour. So foundry men are pourers of metals, smiths are hammers of metals.
Now, iron and steel also work better when they are red hot. If I get a bar of silver red hot and start hammering on it, it breaks into pieces like dried clay. So we've got very different families of metals that act different ways.
I'm just working on filing up some rings. So basically, all a ring is a length of wire that's been bent around until the two ends touch, and then you solder it together.
With each blow of the bellow, a roaring furnace gave colonial silversmiths the ability to solder intricate pieces together, melt silver or heat silver to reduce hardness, before slowly cooling it to soften and prepare it for forming, shaping, and stamping.
We don't make anything unless it is, from the existing piece of that time. So we don't do our own designs here in the shop, but we are using the same tools and techniques that they would have used back then.
By 1766, James Craig officially took full ownership of the entire building he operated from. Inside the shop, silver hollowware, pendants, charms, earrings, and other silver and gold items were designed. At one point, even partnering with a clock and watchmaker to heighten his offerings, which mostly catered to the middle class and the gentry. An advertisement he ran in the Virginia Gazette in October of 1772, which informed the public of his newly acquired watch and clock-making services, was the first recorded evidence of the shop's name, finally revealing the Golden Ball within the introduction of the announcement. "36 feet 9 inches from the Carter House to the west wall of Craig's shop. 2 feet 1.5 inches from the Carter House to the shop's east wall." Details from land deeds recorded in the 1760s mentioning an alleyway between the two buildings and confirmed by modern archaeological evidence. Walking through the Golden Ball's backyard area, I thought about the life that once flourished here. If the James Craig listed in a 1790 census was the jeweler and silversmith, this would have been the backyard parcel that himself, his family, and those enslaved to him would have walked over in those days. It appeared his home, shop, as well as the outbuildings, which included a kitchen, dairy, smokehouse, and stable, were all once advertised for sale in 1779. Published during the heart of the Revolutionary War, I pondered what sort of hardship he might have been facing that led him to make such a pivotal decision. I learned the property never sold and was later determined to be handed down to his daughter, Anne. As I walked the northern bounds of the lot, I wondered if a garden he once mentioned through an advertisement was kept back here. It seemed like it would have been a quiet, secluded area to escape from the busy work of silversmithing and to clear one's mind. Being back here this time of day, it's late afternoon, early evening, very peaceful. You can definitely get a vantage point you don't typically get seeing it on the front side from Duke of Gloucester Street. With the western facade of the Raleigh Tavern peeking over the white picket fence of the Carter House, I was headed back inside to finally get a look at the many treasures that can be purchased inside the eastern doorway of the Golden Ball. Upon entry, I spotted hand-fashioned metalworks lying behind display cases or resting on tables and shop shelves. Many of the pieces hammered, shaped, and designed by the talented smiths working at the Golden Ball today. All available for purchase for ready money only, just like the days of old. From natural beeswax candles to pewter tea caddy spoons, the shoppers inside examined each shiny article and ware with great interest and intrigue. Thomas Jefferson's account book revealed he used James Craig's services for some random repair work to an instrument case and a microscope. And further fascinating, George Washington made a couple memorable purchases from the jewelry store that he recorded in his journals. For his future wife, Martha Custis, he gifted her a pair of earrings while courting. After their marriage, he had Craig custom craft a set of earrings for his stepdaughter, Patsy Custis. An interesting relic and discovery, most likely to be assembled using imported precasted parts from England. A 1770 face and movement of a tall case clock was retained bearing the signature and location of its creator. The name, James Craig, Williamsburg, is clearly engraved on the clock's nameplate. It's thought to have been one of the clocks he retailed at the Golden Ball. The sound of silver being manipulated could be heard from the shop side of the building, as I walked inside the store side's northern room. On a table, a book based on the restoration of Colonial Williamsburg lied open. Its pages revealed historic pre-restoration images of the powder magazine, the courthouse, and the Colonial Parkway while under construction. Beneath the glass, Sarah spotted some valuable jewel craft, various gemstone earrings, a medley of blue topaz rings, and intricate pendants bearing a price tag sufficient for their elegance. Golden candlesticks, a mahogany jewelry chest, both sat amongst other remarkable displays of artistry designed by their talented creators and sold inside the Golden Ball. Before exiting, I took one final peek across the one-way hallway towards the vacant workbench at the other end of the store. I imagined James Craig standing there, hard at work, smithing silver and gold, and was glad to have finally visited his shop in Williamsburg.